Okay, hey everybody, welcome to the Team Set It Off team call. Woo! So excited everybody's here, and if you're watching the replay, thank you so much for watching the replay of our team call. It always means a lot. So if you do happen to watch this, I'm literally saying this in the first like 10 seconds, so you can pretend like you've already watched all of it. Just comment when you see this, so I know that people actually watch this after we do it. Anyways, welcome to our team call. Today we are going to talk a little bit about the information overload that I learned this last weekend. I went to my very first seminar, and it was like a weekend seminar. It was 2 days long from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. and it was called Evolving Out Loud, and it was here in California. And I actually was turned on to it by my success partner, so my Beachbody success partner, which if you're not really sure what that is, that's someone that you collaborate with, that's like your friend, and they're a Beachbody coach. The best way I can think of this, it's like your work wife, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like the person that you're at work with, and they just like, they get what's going on. Even if no one else in your family gets what's going on, they get it because they're in the trenches with you. So she turned me on to this because her boyfriend's brother is actually the guy that put on this entire event. His name is Kyle Cease, and he was a comedian for about 25 years, and then turned into this realm of personal development and growth and transformation. So the seminar for me personally really fit with the things that I like, because he went into some really deep stuff, but then like would crack a joke or two about it, and it would really lighten the mood, but still get his point across. And I'm all about that. Like if I can find the humor in anything, I mean, life's too short to be serious 24/7. So with that being said, let me go on my slides so that we have something to look at. Okay, let me just put just me. Okay, awesome. So we're just going to do presentation mode, and then also I'm going to keep the time in front of me so that I don't talk for an hour. Okay, so Evolving Out Loud, the Team Set It Off edition. So I'm just going to kind of cut straight to it and then give you some activities that I learned there that you can either use them or you don't have to use them. But I have really found in just the 2 days since this event, I can't tell you how peaceful. I've never felt this peaceful in my life, like this happy. It's kind of like being on a drug, but you're not on a drug. You're you. So anyways, I digress. So the first topic, we started off on day one, really talking about getting to know yourself and getting to know that baseline, because we are all creative, infinite beings of possibilities. Like when you say you're not creative, you're lying, because if you look back and you were a kid, look at if you have kids right now, or if you've raised kids, or you were a kid, which we were all kids at one point, you remember that you used to just color and create and play. Like you would play for hours. I remember being a kid, and like we were poor, so, but I didn't know it because I was a kid, and I was just so happy that I would we would play McDonald's, and I would make food out of dirt. And my friend would come by, and I'd pretend to be the McDonald's drive-through lady, and then she'd be like, oh, I have a McDouble. I don't even know if there was a thing back then, but, you know, chicken McNuggets, and then make it out of dirt. So I know you have similar stories like that of your childhood, of just like, you're like, dude, I played with a box for like 2 hours. Like, how did that even happen, right? But I wanted to really start off with that point, to let you all know that everyone on our team, everyone that you help, everyone that is affected by you making this choice to be that. You are, when you said yes to becoming a coach, I believe you said yes to being your creative infinite self. Like you said yes to being that you that dreamed again, and that you get to offer that to other people. And so once we're starting from that baseline, let's take it to reality. So the reality of the fact is that we hold ourselves back to not get hurt so that we can get love. A lot of the things that we do, it's because we want to get love. So if you're afraid to invite people, if you're afraid to present this opportunity, or to do a social media post, or do a live video, or try something new, it's you're afraid to get hurt, right? Because you just want love. And anything that we do, it's really just our little selves, our little kid selves trying to get love. And so some of you are predisposed to really like that you don't have a lot of issues because you were immensely loved and you felt loved no matter what you did. And then there's some of us that you had a more difficult childhood. And so finding love was very hard for you. And so just know that every limitation that you've been finding in your business or just in life in general, every limitation is your childhood or it's evidence of the past. Things people told you couldn't do this, you couldn't do that, or you watched other people try to do things you wanted to do and then they didn't do very well. Or whatever may be the case. And you may have had this happen to you as well, as where let's say you're starting to get momentum and you're starting to do really good and you're feeling really good about stuff. And this could be with coaching, this could be with a work endeavor or a hobby that you were pursuing or a relationship or whatever it could be. And you start to do really well. But because you have this self-limiting belief deep down in your core with little you haven't changed your internal temperature of the love that you're willing to receive from others, you start to self-sabotage. I hope you're all raising your hand because I think this has happened to all of us at one point or another during our lives. I call it, he gave this example of a helium balloon, and I'm going to call it the helium balloon effect, but it's self-sabotage, okay? So if you're a helium balloon and you're floating at one level, and then you create your own problem, so you hit the balloon down, so you've created your own problem, when it floats back up to the spot it was already in before, don't you feel, you have this feeling like, okay, I overcame something, right? So it's like you create your own problem just so you can have a comeback to go to the same level that you were at before. And so when you start to find this happening, and I'm going to talk a lot about myself just because, you know, it's me. So I hope that maybe you can find something that I talk about that you can relate to. But if you can't, then just know that there are other people like me out there. Where in this business, I've been doing this for a little over 2 years. And when I first came back and I was full force, because I'd been a coach for 5 years, didn't do anything with it. I came back in full force and was like going. And then just out of nowhere, I just started to not do anything. Like I wasn't hitting Success Club. I couldn't like talk to enough people. Like it's like I created my own helium balloon effect. So I created my own problem. And then in early 2015, I came back with a bang. I came back in full force. And that's how I have a lot of the coaches I have now, because I just came back. So I hit my own balloon down and then it rised up again. But then again, it seems like the same time the year before in 2014, in August of 2015, I did the same thing again. And I hit my own helium balloon. And so I had to go back down. And then in late December of last year to now, my helium balloon went back up to the same spot. And so it's like, and then I just kind of gave it a little love tap and then it went back up to the same spot. But now I'm feeling at this place where doing things like this and investing in myself, because I think that's the only, practicing self-awareness and growing yourself is the only way that you are going to be able to face your inner, the inner things that have happened to you that you just keep bottling up, and they come out in different ways, right? We think it's our personality. We start to identify ourselves as these limitations. And so when you start to become self-aware, and you raise your bar of happiness and you start to really be one with yourself and love yourself. And I am sorry, I know that sounds very but I'm full blown, I don't care. I must be a crazy person, but I love it because I told you at the beginning, I've never felt so peaceful in my life, because when you become one with yourself and you love yourself and you become this space for yourself where emotions can come in, but you know they'll go. Like you're not your feelings. And so within all of us, so I'm going to finish that thought. When you become self-aware and you start to realize that you're not your thoughts and you're not your feelings and you're not your past, and you start working through those issues, you start to raise your helium balloon, right? Your helium balloon goes higher and higher and higher. Instead of you creating a problem, now it's rising up and it's going further up. It's like something has let it go and it's able to go up higher and higher and higher, instead of something bogging it down, holding it on, and then you creating your own problem just so you can come back to the same place. So your calling, your gift, because remember, we already said you are a creative, infinite being of possibilities. Your inner child is so playful, so full of love, and just your heart is so full, but we have all these limitations that end up holding us back. But I want you to know that your next step, your calling, your gift, the things you're like, what should I do? Like, what should I, like, if you're wondering, like, what do I do with coaching? Why isn't this working? Or maybe it is working and you're like, oh my God, it's working. Like, what do I do from now? Like, can I keep this up? Am I good? I'm not sure what I'm doing. Your internal GPS is within you. And when you listen to your internal GPS, this means getting quiet with yourself, right? Just like a GPS, if you were to type in a location right now, it's not like your GPS just tells you all the directions, like as soon as you enter it in. Okay, turn right on Valdera Street, and then left on Broadview, and then go on Verdugo Boulevard, then turn left at California Boulevard. Like, it wouldn't tell you all of the steps at once, right? Your GPS tells you one step at a time. And the same thing is if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling very inspired and you're feeling very motivated and you have a lot of momentum, the same thing can be true. It could be a negative or a positive, that you know what you need to do. And sometimes it's just getting quiet with yourself. Not sometimes, it's always getting quiet with yourself. In fact, I found a video of Oprah giving a quick spiel about when she quit her talk show, her big talk show, which is so amazing that like the newer generation's never gonna know about the Oprah talk show. Anyways, she talked about where everyone was like, oh my gosh, like, what are you gonna do next? What are you gonna do next? Because she had the biggest show ever. And she said in that interview that, you know, when we are trying to figure out our next steps, we always ask everybody, right? You always ask everybody. And sometimes we also ask people the things that we need, like reassurance that we need to hear. But most of the time you already know what the next step is. So she said that she got quiet and went outside in nature and just sat with herself and just waited until the next step showed up. So when you practice self-awareness, I kind of already touched on this, but when you practice self-awareness, you're looking at your thoughts and you're realizing that you are not your thoughts. I think that's such a huge thing. When you're feeling angry, when you're feeling upset, when you're feeling judged, when you're feeling alone, when you're feeling frustrated, when you're feeling overworked, overwhelmed, you know, all of those crazy negative feelings, you have to realize that you are not those things. Remember, you're the space that is all those thoughts and feelings are in. And so when you become self-aware, right, it's like unlocking your own cage. It's beautiful. It's amazing. It's like once you become self-aware, you look around the room and you're like, oh my God, there's a door right there. Like, I can get out. Like, I don't have to stay in here. It's such a freeing feeling, so that you realize that, you know, those feelings will pass, and it's okay to be upset, and it's okay to cry, and it's okay to, you know, be in your own head for a little bit, but you've got to give yourself permission to not be distracted with Facebook or a glass of wine or TV or gossip or, you know, whatever, or shopping online or gambling or whatever thing you turn to distract yourself from dealing with your own inner shit, literally, mentally and physically, you know, then you can work past it. That's what we talk about when you're like, I know I always used to question people and be like, what do you mean you're working through it? Like, what does that even mean? But it just means you're feeling those feelings and you're loving them, and then they go away. Because the more resistance you have to feelings, the more they show up stronger, right? So a big thing that was talked about was stepping into your deep down. So you know how people say when you're going through like a really, really tough time, like you're being evicted and your car is about to be repossessed and you can't pay any of your bills. And if you've never experienced that, I love you. But if you've experienced that, like, oh my God, I have no money right now, or some type of life event, like someone you love has cancer, or you have cancer, or something happens out of your control, you know, and you're not like, you're just like overwhelmed, right? Most people talk about this idea of deep down. So like deep down inside, I know this is going to be okay. You get cheated on and you're left to be a single mother. Deep down, I know I'll be okay. You get laid off from your job and you have no savings. Deep down, I know I'll be okay, right? Like people talk about that. But why do we have to wait for something catastrophic to happen to be in our deep down? I hope you're following me. And if you're not, it's totally okay. I hope that I hope that there's some people that watch this and go, what the fuck is she talking about? That would make me so happy, because it just means it's like brand new information. But tapping into that deep down all of the time and living in that place where you know without a shadow of a doubt that everything is going to be okay, and you are loved and you are happy and you are at peace. So the next thing is to talk about stepping into your fears. So fears, limitations, things that hold us back. When something's not working, I want you to try to ask yourself, what's trying to emerge out of this? It's what he talked a lot about of. Like the example he gave of fear, or living in a fear-based mindset, is like being an ice cube. You know, and an ice cube is just like how you become an ice cube. If you wake up in the morning and the first thing you do is watch the news, if you listen to all of the bad stuff that's going on, if you're just filled with people that are negative, or always complaining or angry or upset, or they're blaming other people for their circumstances, or you're watching the political debate, or you know what I mean? When you're consuming all of this fear, because let's be freaking real, that all of the media in America today is designed to activate your fight or flight. It's trying to get your nervous system to go, oh my God, I'm going to die. My kids are going to die if they step out into the street and they don't have an iPhone 6 Plus. Like, you know, like that fear mindset that like something bad is going to happen at every turn and corner, and you're just living in worry. But in order to be free from your fear, if you're an ice cube, what do you have to do? You have to melt. You got to melt. And so this is and this was so beautiful. When I was at this seminar, he actually had a man, bless his heart. He had this older gentleman who was about 56 years old. His son, who was 30, had just died. His brother, I don't know how old his brother was, but then his brother died 2 weeks later. And then a couple of his cousins passed away shortly after that. So he had probably like 4 or 5 deaths within a span of a couple months. And he was someone that was very positive. He always tried to look like he loved challenges because he always loved to overcome them. And he was always like, he's such a giver. He wanted to help everyone else feel okay. And so he was like, I'm here today and I'm sharing this all with you because I just don't know how to fix it. He's like, I'm trying to feel better. And he's like, I understand the stages of grieving. He's like, I just don't know. I just don't know if I can be the same, you know? And he had all these fears and he was hopeful, but he had these fears, and he had these fears of other people not being okay and him not being okay. And so they actually brought a little girl on stage. And so he spoke out loud his fears. So he said, I'm really afraid. I'm very scared right now. And so they had the little girl repeat back, I'm really scared. I'm really afraid. And he started to answer her because he was supposed to talk to her because it's fear, right? And it's fear in child form. And he had to say, his first gut instinct was like, you don't have to be afraid. It's okay. And Kyle was like, no. Do you still love her though? Do you love her even though she's afraid? And he goes, of course I love her. And so that's what you have to think of your fears as. I think we have so much resistance to our fears of being judged, not liked. you know, the fear of failure, the fear that you'll, you know, like it won't work out, like whatever, like what, like really start to dig at your fears. Cause I'm sure a lot of the quick fears that you think of, especially if I asked you to think, okay, what are your fears of coaching? Like, what are the things that are holding you back from being a top elite coach right now? Like, what are the things that are holding you back? And you start to come up with all these fears. I guarantee you there's more to that. Like, that's just the surface. That's like the tip of the iceberg. Like, there's so much probably more underneath that you haven't really just sat and thought about. Because it's not bad to think of them. If you feel a negative thought, if you feel a fear, imagine it like a little kid running up to you. And especially for those of you that have children that are little, your little kid running up to you and saying that fear out loud. Like in their little tiny little helium voice, because kids have the cutest voices, right? And they say your fear out loud. I'm really scared that people won't like me. And you just have to look at it and just go, I love you. Like, people are going to like you. I love you. You just have to love that fear. And when you love that fear, it just like, it doesn't know what to do. It's like, oh, I don't have any power over you. And it just feels that love. And it goes away. And it's that simple. It really is that simple. It's crazy, but it's that simple. So you have to change your alignment in order to receive. So if you're sitting here and you've made dream boards or vision boards, or you have like goals of like, I'm going to hit Success Club 5, I'm going to be a diamond coach, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to help people, I want to make a difference in the world. But deep down inside, or like even like, let's talk about money, y'all. Like, y'all can pretend all day that you don't want to make money at this, but I ain't gonna lie to kick it. I want money. Like I don't want money, but I know that I need money in order to do the things that are gonna help me live out my gift, right? Because I hope everybody knows what it's like to be like dirt ass poor or broke. Like, it is the worst feeling in the world when your bank account has like less than, like, you pick a number that makes you want to throw up a little bit. Okay. We'll leave that as your X, where you can pick the number. So in order to receive the things that you say you want, you have to change your alignment. You have to become that helium balloon that lifts up, right? If this is what you want, I don't know if you can see my finger, but if this is what you want and then you're right here, you're going to have to adjust yourself so that you can match the thing that you want, right? Because if you get the thing that you want, but you haven't changed your alignment, this is the self-sabotage. This is you creating a problem and going back to where you were. So he gave this beautiful example of the dog and the treat effect. So it's almost like, okay, it's like the universe, God, your intuition, whatever you believe in, or if you believe in all of them, it's like that knows what you want. Okay. And it's just like when you have a treat and you want to give it to a dog, and the dog sees the treat and it starts freaking out and like lunging at you to go and get the treat. It's like, give me the treat, give me the treat. And what do we do for our dogs? That like, we do this thing where we make them do a trick, right? So we go sit. And then I know my Lucy, she's like freaking out, like spinning in circles, like wigging out. And then I just stand there. I'm not going to give it to her. I just watch her freak out, and then I go, sit. And she freaks out some more, and she freaks out some more. And I say it one more time. I go, sit, Lucy. And then she sits. And then I give her the treat. The same exact thing is with the universe. Same exact thing is with God. The same exact thing is with your intuition. It's with yourself. If you're so just like, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want it, 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 right? The universe is just like, okay, I know you want it, but you're going to have to do something for this. So your sit might be meditate. It might be give more. It might be connect more, love more. Whatever the thing you need to do, right, in order to become, so that you can come in alignment, so that you can do the things that you want to have, so that you can have them, you can be that person. Last two things about fear is that if you think all of this is, if you think it's crazy, like if you think that like your dreams and your goals and your aspirations are crazy, then you can't have it, right? Like you can't have it. You have to believe, like when you listen to Amy Silverman, that was #2 in the company there. And I will tell you, when I met her, when I trained her, like when she first was starting out, she always acted like she was #1. She just held herself that way. I was like so intimidated because I was like, oh my gosh, she's like a top 10. She wasn't even top 10 when I met her. And then what do you know? 2 years later, she's top 10. If you ever ask any of those people that made it to the top, they didn't go by, well, I wasn't really sure if I could do it or not. And it just kind of happened, right? They will tell you that they legitimately said affirmations to themselves. They made themselves become the person that was top 10. Right? So you have to stop saying, wow, that's really crazy. I'm kind of dumb. I don't know. That's kind of stupid. Who would really want that? When you start speaking in those kind of like that terminology, the universe picks up on it, right? It's like a radio station. And if you're trying to turn the dial and you're trying to listen to K-Day in LA, which is a hip hop station, but you're dialing it to a country station and you're like, why is Tupac not coming on? It's because you're tuned into the wrong freaking station, right? You've got to be tuned into the right station in order to receive it. The last thing I will say about that is just stop trying to figure it out. Stop trying to wrap your head around it, because the more you try to wrap your head around it, the more there is resistance. Stop needing evidence. Act normal. Act like you are a person that makes 6 figures a year. 7 figures a year. You're a person that you help 50 people a month. It's like, what? This is normal. Like, it's not weird. It's not crazy. People, that's what I do, right? Like, you have to start believing you're that person. So here are some activities for you. And I did this myself. So I would recommend giving yourself like 5 minutes. You don't have to do it right now, but I would love it. If you've been taking notes, you're my favorite person in the entire world right now. Because this notebook, I take notes for everything. Anyway, so you split. Oh my gosh, sorry, I ate some hard-boiled eggs. Countdown to competition. My mom asked me, she's like, what are you like competing for? I was like, the game of life, woman. No, I didn't really say that to her. But you take a piece of paper, you draw a line down the middle, and you have your left side of your page and your right side of your page. The left side, I want you to imagine, and this is the same thing we do with vision boards, y'all. I want you to imagine like someone waved a magic wand and you could be anything, you could do anything, you could have anything. Like what is it? Dream big, baby. Like, dream big, right? We always say dream big. It's your only limitation is how big you can dream, right? So if you think you're a person that can only make $100 grand a year, or even like, 30 grand a year, then that's your limitation, right? How are you supposed to make $1 million a year if you think you're only worth 50, right? Like, you have to dare yourself to dream bigger. And if it feels like your skin is crawling, if it feels really uncomfortable, that means this is good and you need to do it. It's kind of like when you work out for the first time and it hurts all over, right? Like, it's just something new. But what happens every time you do an activity like this, every time you write down your goals, every time you make a vision board, every time you start to really believe in your full potential, it's like lifting weights, and the things that felt like, wow, that seems like too much. Pretty soon you're lifting heavier and heavier and heavier. Same thing with your dreams and goals. You're starting to unlock that inner infinite being in you that has permission to dream. Right? So you would take some time. I would set a timer for 5 minutes and write down everything that comes to mind. It could be little or big. Like, it doesn't have to be crazy. Like, I said things like, I want to go to Seattle. I would go to concerts and actually dance and sing. I would invest in a cause. I would volunteer. I would spend more money on getting myself out there. I would start a blog or video series on my travels around the world for the first time. Like, just anything that comes out, just let it come out. And so you do that for 5 minutes. And then for the next, it doesn't have to be 5 minutes. It should be pretty quickly because your mind's very good at this already. It won't take very much time. I pinky promise. On the right side of your page, hopefully you will list your dreams and your goals and your magic on the left side of your page, and just kind of like an order in line. I'm a psycho, so I write my stuff like all over the place. It was like on one side and down here. So if you're an organized person, this will be easy. If you're like me and you're just like, yay, color outside the lines and like writing on the next page, it might be a little bit more difficult, but you can still get the gist of it. I want you to go through every single thought that you had, every goal or dream or desire, and you're gonna use the words yeah, but. Okay, so if I said, I want to go to Tony Robbins. Yeah, but, and that's your mind coming in. Yeah, but that's a lot of money and you don't make that much money with Beachbody yet. Right? So that's a yeah, but. What would I say? I said I want to help 100 people a month. Yeah, but you've never even helped that many people in a month before. Right? So it should, I mean, like, this should be pretty quick and easy because your logic comes in pretty freaking quick, right? When you start to do outlandish stuff and you're like, that's crazy. Yeah, but I don't have enough money for that. Yeah, but I don't have enough time for that. Yeah, but what about like health insurance? Yeah, but like whatever comes, it should be instantaneous. Okay. So that's that exercise. And that will, for me personally, that previous exercise really helped me understand a lot of the common themes that my mind tries to play on me. So it was a lot of like, I don't have enough money. I don't have enough time. I don't know how to do that. And I'm not enough. Like that was kind of like the reoccurring theme. And so do you hear that though? Like your mind is like, you have all these things that you think you want, but then your mind goes, yeah, but, and it's all these things that are floating in the back of your mind that are kind of holding you back. And so therefore your alignment is off, right? Like if you're saying you want those things, but in the back of your head, your alignment is, yeah, but you will never make that much money, right? Yeah, but you will always have to struggle, right? So my activity that I like to do with that is, you start to think about your fears and they come out after you do this exercise. But this is great to do with someone on the team that's watched this call. And I did this at the seminar, but just to sit down with somebody like for 5 minutes, and you can do this with your success partner, but you just start to talk about your thoughts and feelings. You could start off initially with a couple things that are coming up that you're afraid of, that kind of bring you, that feel heavy, that feel like you have to do them, but you don't really, like your body doesn't want to do them. And so you can start at that place and you just have a conversation with someone and you just talk about your thoughts and feelings. And anytime you come to a stop or you feel a fear or you feel a doubt or insecurity or whatever, I want you to start saying, and I love that. So when I got on here and I was like, oh my gosh, I look like a crazy hot mess. And I love that because that told me when I said, and I love that, it let me know that like me not doing my makeup today was not as important as it was to come over and spend time with my parents. So that's what that translates to me. And it's just like anything, it's going to feel really weird and awkward at first, but you'll start to hear your inner, it's almost like your inner child talking to you. You know, I don't know what to say. And I love that. I don't think anyone cares what I have to say. And I love that. And so you start to hear that like ugly voice inside you that's like trying to, like, it's like, ah, like coming out. And you're like, ah, like, who are you? Go away, right? So it's just practicing that internal dialogue. So I'm almost done, you guys, okay? Give me like 4 more minutes. I'm looking at the time. I'm like, no, don't go too long. So the biggest thing that I can tell you, I already know, you guys are going to listen to this and like maybe one person will do this. It's just the fact of the matter. It's like when Gary Vee told us that, like, he told us all his secrets and then he's like, but I could tell you all my secrets because I know like 95% of you are not going to do it. Same thing with this. I'm telling you, I have the keys to happiness and fulfillment without stuff or things, because that's a whole nother conversation, which I hope that if you've been doing your personal development, you realize that happiness is now. Happiness is now. It's not in your rank. It's not in the amount of money that you will make. It's not in Success Club. It's not in material things. It's not anything. It's just happiness and love comes from right now. And it's that whole idea of that you are enough as is. So the key to unlocking what the next steps are, what you need to work on, where your mind is, where your body is, where your soul is to meditate. And I am somebody that I was recommending Headspace to everybody because I loved it. It was quick, it was simple, it was easy, because my mind told me, girlfriend, you ain't got much time. You need to make this happen and just go about your day. But after I went to this seminar, I did an hour-long meditation, and it completely changed my life. Completely changed my life. And so now I've dedicated myself to 90 days of 30 minutes of meditation a day, unguided. I set a timer on my phone, and I sit on my couch with my fuzzy blanket. Sometimes my dog cuddles next to me, and I just close my eyes. And I just sit there. And the thing about meditation is that you are able to catch infinite possibilities when you're not in your head. So what ends up happening, so listen to your body. It's allowing you to trust your intuition. Remember, you have your own internal GPS of where you need to go next. This is how you find it out. But your mind will try to sabotage you, because you see, your mind can see what it's going to lose. So your mind says, don't do it. Kelly, you have so many things to do right now. You've got all these responsibilities. You have to do these invites. You've got to work out. You got to take care of this. You got to take care of that. You only really need, 5 minutes. Like, well, how about you just do 5 minutes? Like, I know Jen said like an hour, but why don't you just do 5? Right? And so when you sit down, it's kind of like when you turn on an old hose in your backyard that hasn't been turned on for like a couple years, or even just 6 months, or however old you are. If you've never meditated, then use that, how many years? And it's like turning it on, and it's just like brown, gunky, ugly water. So a lot of the thoughts you will experience in your first meditation will just be a lot of gunk. It'll just be a lot of like, what am I doing here? Am I doing this right? I don't know what I'm doing. Are you sure? This is crazy. This is kind of dumb. This won't bring you peace. What are you talking about? Well, who's talking in there? What are you thinking? Shut up. I think you're just supposed to breathe. Like, your mind is going to try to sabotage you. All you have to do is just sit with it and love it. Just love it. It's like it's squirming. It like doesn't know what to do. It's like, oh my God, you're listening to me finally. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to me. Right? It's gonna try to deter you. But you have to understand that you're connected to everything. You're connected to the things that you can have, and that you what does it say? If you want something, you can't have it. So you're already connected to the being that you envision yourself as. So if you envision yourself as someone that's financially free, someone that can provide for others, that helps others, that contributes to society, that you're able to provide for your family, that you're able to feel at peace, that you're able to be at your goal weight, that you're able to have confidence, you're able to, the list goes on and on and on and on. You have to believe that you are already that already. It doesn't happen. You already are it. And by meditating, you will start to realize that you are that. So like I said, I was gonna hurry this up. Next one. So the last thing that I'll leave you with is something you can, I love if you would like talk to someone out loud. This is a really strange exercise, but it's called Kalego. It's because it's not a scientific thing. It's Kyle and his friend Diego came up with this, but it's speaking as if the previous day or the previous year or 6 months had already happened. So when I was at the event, I had to Kalego like the event had already happened a month ago, and talk to a stranger like it had already. I'm telling the stranger what happened a month ago. So I'd go something like, "Wow, it was really crazy. After that Evolving Out Loud event, after I had done that meditation, it completely changed my life, and I was able to find more peace, and I was able to get a lot of my own fears out of the way. And I even started therapy, which allowed me to really get out of my own head, and it allowed me to feel closer to my husband and to my team. And in fact, the craziest part about it was that I ended up signing like 15 coaches last month, which is the most I've ever had, I've ever signed. And things just started to make sense. And I was coming up with, I came up with these great ideas. We had this health bet that happened, and I came up with this awesome idea and created a Facebook event for it, and even invested in it. And I ended up getting like 50 people that were interested. It was like the most people I've ever had interested in a challenge group of mine. And we're halfway through it, and some people have already lost 20 pounds, and it's just incredible. I'm like, I just can't believe that, after that event, all these things happened for me. So it's kind of speaking in that sense. So the way that you can do it, so you can do it 6 months from now, you can do it a year from now, but you can also do it like the previous day. So you can speak about the previous day. And so when me and my friend Ruthie did this, which we're like rusty water right now. We're like day one of exercising, like everything hurts and we don't know if we're doing it right. And we know we look stupid, and we love that. Because, anything you do for the first time, it's not going to feel natural. So we did it, and I think we said something like, oh man, Ruthie, I remember when I talked to you yesterday and I had told you that I was going to make that Facebook event, and it ended up going really great. I was able to get 10 leads out of it, start talking to people, informing them, and I have a couple that are, really, like, I think that they're going to make excellent coaches, so I'm going to invite them to my coach sneak peek today. And yesterday it was so great. Nick came home and I was in such a good mood, and I cooked him a great dinner, and we ended up having a really good conversation, and without any phones on us, and we were able to just connect, and I felt so great. And also my coach Erin and I connected last night, and we had this really great talk, and I felt really connected to her, and I felt really loved, and I hope that she felt really loved. And I think that like big things are in store for her. And so you start talking like these things had already happened, basically. And I'm starting to get a little bit better. It's starting to flow a little bit better. But I will tell you what. You know what? We did the Kegel exercise yesterday, and I didn't get stuff done that I said that I foreseen that it was going to get done. But today, because I had spoke that out into existence, instead of being like, oh, I'm just gonna wait to do my Facebook event, I made it today, and I put 20 on it. I sponsored it. So I can already start to see how this Kegel exercise really starts to ingrain in you action. Like if you talk about things that have already happened, like you've already done them, then your brain's like, yeah, that's right, we did make that event. Or yeah, that's right, we did invite 10 people yesterday. That was great. And so you start embodying that person, and you become that person. So my last thought is about investing in yourself. And I just have to say that if you're scared to invest in yourself, if you're scared to go to a seminar, if you're scared to do Facebook ads or learn how to do a like page, or basically put money back into this amazing opportunity that you have, that you will stay in that space. You'll stay in that space. And you have to think of it like this. If your bank account, like not to be one of those crazy people, because I don't believe this is going to happen, but there's no security in anything. Just trust in that. That what if the banks all shut down tomorrow and you couldn't have any of your money, and all you had was this? All you had was all the knowledge you had, right? So if you think of it like that, and if you think of your money as a seed and you plant it, it's going to come back to you tenfold. So the knowledge and information that you learn when you go to a seminar, when you invest in a book, when you invest in a training group, when you invest in going to whatever it is, Summit, like some of you still aren't convinced to go to Summit, which is just beyond me right now. So, you know, investing in it, you know, and I know it's like, I have such a hard time with it myself of letting go of my money, but I realized when I did my right page, all of my fears, all of my yeah buts had to do with I don't have enough money. So when you think that there's a scarcity and you will not have enough, then there's no abundance, right? So that's just what I have to say. When you hoard your money, you hoard your ideas. And it's basically investing in your creativity, and you get to live in your flow. And your time is valuable. Your time is more valuable than any money can ever be. So anyways, that's my thoughts, and I'm sticking to it. Oh, I'm in the dark. I'm just this like shadow of a person just spitting knowledge. Anyways, I'm gonna close off the recording.